You're not bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that that person's irritated by you is that person's problem.
Mm-hmm.
So ignore them. Just like, man, I feel bad for you that you got to feel that way.
Yeah.
Hope you work that out.
Yeah.
You know, because first of all, I don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep doing me. Now, if I was doing something that was really rude.
Well, if more than one person is telling you something is wrong, then you have to start to listen.
Right. But if it's the one person who's just irritated all the damn time anyway.
Right.
And you're overly familiar because you're siblings. Don't listen to them. Or if you're overly familiar because you work with them on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
That's their fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I feel bad for you, and I really hope you get that worked out.
That's the hardest part, is being able to, like, turn your back on it and then take your breath and get back in your bubble. Mm-hmm. Like you said earlier, like, you feel it. You need to feel it to recognize it. But then you have to
let it go.
And
that's with a lot of, if you listen to Eckhart Tolle or read Eckhart Tolle books, like his A New Earth or Power of Now, he talks a lot about that. It's just where I learned a lot of it. But just having that awareness and no judgment. So when you start to feel some type of way, when people are acting through their ego, I think that you just acknowledge the feelings or even pain, like when you hurt or when you're sad and it's about something from the past. I think that you can acknowledge it and you can, you know where it's coming from.
You have to feel it.
I think it's just a constant awareness. And as actors, all that does for us, when we're consciously aware in the moment of our life, then it allows us to be even that more in the moment and listening. And
we have to have access to that. Yeah, as actors.
So bringing that awareness into your regular life, I think, is important. But, the fact that you realize that that's that person's ego. And when you start to recognize characteristics of ego, and then you see it happening in people, you're like, all right, well, good luck with that.
Sorry.
Because it's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm on my 5th cup of coffee today. I know what you're thinking. Who has that much coffee? And someone should really talk to her about that. No, I'm here to tell you that Caffè Bustel is not an Italian coffee. Even if I say it like that. No, this is a secret blend of coffee beans, and they're not telling. Trust me, I've tried. This is high quality espresso-style coffee with smooth flavor that provides me with all-day energy and minor heart palpitations. It's all right. Have a cup, or 2, or 5 today.
So as I was going inside to go pee and get a little bit more champagne, I have a shirt tied around my waist, and it like started falling down, and it reminded me of this old boss I had that she used to wear little mini skirts, and she wore grandma undies, and she would be standing there outside like the restaurant or whatever, and they would just fall down her legs. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Her underwear would just fall down.
How does that happen?
Because it's big. Like, I was walking inside and I didn't even realize until my shirt was like around my knees that my shirt had fallen down.
That's a shirt that's tied around your waist. These are underwear.
But I think you get to a certain age and you just don't feel things anymore. Not just like vaginally. But like I feel like I wonder though, like how much do you not care about stuff anymore? And what does that manifest into, like
your own self-awareness? Like
yeah.
How much of your own self-awareness
it just goes away.
Have?
Like our thighs are gonna go numb or something. I don't know. I know.
My vagina.
Well, did you get that foam? Did they ever give you the foam to put on?
No.
There's like this steroid foam that I think is like illegal. But this was in Panama. Yeah, my birth story from Panama is very illegal. But yeah, there's like this epi foam or something that they give you to put on underneath, and it like numbs or steroids or something.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, for like, I used it for like a week after they gave it to me, and they were like, you can't get a prescription after this week. Like, they won't give it to you because of some reason. I don't know. I never looked into it, but. Yep.
After you have the baby.
After you have the baby, it's like it's like a foam that you put in your hand and you put on.
It's like medicated?
Yeah, it's like steroids. Like, I don't know what it is, but it like numbs you and you can actually sit and pee and not worry about, hurting and all that stuff. But they were really specific about, this is your only one you're allowed to have. You don't get this after.
Do you want to know what I got? I'm at the hospital I was in. It's a very prestigious high
in
school,
Panama?
really fucking hospital. No, here in California.
Oh, yeah.
I got because with my first child,
yeah,
obviously it was much more traumatic to my body than the other two, right?
Yeah.
So with Kai, I had an episiotomy.
Oh, that's the cutty from the buddy to the PP? Yeah. Is that the medical term for it?
Two became one.
You got cutty? Yeah.
I got cutty in the
oh my God,
cutty.
I just had
Yeah. So after having, obviously they stitch you up.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, a couple more?
Yeah.
Put a couple more in there?
Yeah. Can you fold it in while you're down there? Tighten that shit up a little bit. I ripped a little bit, and so they had to stitch me.
Well, I think I either was ripping or they just knew I was gonna rip because he got the big scissors out. Like,
you saw the scissors?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Jesus!
And I heard the
no!
sound. Yeah, and Matt was over him and was like, but that's when two became one. The room started to shift.
Yeah,
like
Did
the
he
room
pass
was
out?
like no. Okay. He just said it got like.
Yeah.
He knew that the baby's coming out, the head's right there. Like, he was like, oh, shit just got kind of weird. But he did see me splayed out, basically.
Yeah.
I got an ice pack made out of a glove.
Did it have loose ice inside of it, or was it actually frozen water?
No, it was loose ice.
Did they get it out of the...
Yeah, it was somebody got it frozen like this.
She's doing too
fast. This is very convenient. Are you sure this is just for the... Okay.
It's just for the outside? Oh, not anymore.
But I'm stitched on the inside. Oh, God, could you imagine? Yeah. Oh, there's nothing you want more than to keep anything away from those crevices.
Hey, guys. I don't know about you, but ever since the pandemic hit, I have a really hard time putting on any sort of crunchy pants. Jeans, gone. Leggings it is, but you gotta look cute. Day and night, you still want to feel good, So, I buy my leggings, sportswear, all of my comfortable, cute stuff from Anna Stern at Zaya.com, myzaya.com, myzia.com. They have incredible stuff. Activewear, cute sports shirts, sports bras, leggings, summer wear, winter wear, you name it, even men's stuff. I love my bomber jacket with the thumb holes. I have a problem where I stick my thumbs through all of my shirts, and the bomber jacket is cute, light, and it has my thumb holes. The leggings, by the way, are so cute, so comfortable, they make my butt look good, and they hold a bottle of wine on each side in the pockets. We all need pockets, and we all need our wine. If you're looking for amazing activewear, just go to myzia.com, myzia.com, and it asks you, who is your rep? You just say Anna Stern, ANNASTERN. We got to support each other, y'all. We don't need this stuff from Target. Let's get it from Anna at myzia.com. In Panama, they gave me that tape that is supposed to induce you a little bit. It's just like has medication or something.
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know, but he put it inside the day before. And I was like, all right. And he was like, tomorrow you'll stop feeling like maybe you have to go into labor or whatever. It was like 1 a.m. and he was like, no, it never works this fast. And I'm like, it is working. Like, this is happening. My body just takes to things weirdly. And so we went to the hospital, and the nurses in Panama were so very, very not nice. And very, very in Spanish, but basically saying like, you're fine. You're fine. You do this. People do this all the time. You're fine. And I'm like, I understand. But I even make my cast members feel special, even though people have been on stage for hundreds of years. But if you're going through something, like birthing.
Especially for the first time.
Yes, you should at least be made to feel like it's special and like your pain is valid.
Yeah.
It sucked. And then finally at 6 o'clock in the morning, the doctor, who I loved, my doctor, came in and he had to break my water and stuff, but we went in and the baby wouldn't come out because they first did the epidural wrong and it only did the left side of my body, and you're only allowed to get an epidural when you have, well, you all know, when you are having a contraction. They have to put it in, take it in and put it out. If they have to redo it, you're only allowed to put it in while you're contracting or take it out while you're contracting for whatever reasons. They can read, whatever. So I had to sit, basically I was sitting on Cece's head and I had a contraction with no medication, and then they took it out, and then they were like, well, we have to wait till the next contraction to be able to put it back in, and so they didn't do that.
I don't understand that. Why?
I don't know. Maybe it reads on the monitor, like, where it's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they're sticking something in your spine, so maybe that has something to do with I have no idea. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But because she wouldn't come out, so the consulate, what's the guy's name that is the consulate guy? The guy that lives in the consulate, he's like the Panamanian, he's the U.S. blah blah to Panama.
Ambassador?
Yes. So the ambassador, who I knew and had become friends with, him and his wife, and which was very fancy. I've met and become friends with many ambassadors, which was very new to me in Panama. But do you know that President Martinelli stuck his tongue in my mouth?
I think I remember this story.
He kissed me on the street, and I am not afraid to say this, because Charlie even knows about this. We were at a Jazz Fest party, and he grabbed me and stuck his tongue in my mouth. The president of the fucking country. Anyway, different story, different day. But
that's a book. I'm talking to the mic. Did you hear that, bitch?
I've actually met both presidents of Panama, which I don't know if that's really like a, whatever. Anyway, so they put it back in. I did not know that you were supposed to push like you were pooping. I did not know this. I thought you were supposed to do crunches to push out. Right? Which I should have known, because if you go to the bathroom when you have a tampon in, it comes out when you go poop, right? You're like, whatever. It comes out a little bit, or it needs to be adjusted, or take it out and redone, or whatever. So, but that didn't make a connection to me, like you were supposed to push from behind. And so I wasn't with Cece. I was pushing from the top. So I was exhausted.
I bet you were all here, too. Was this all sore?
Yes, and he told me not to, Dr. Carbone told me not to scream or make any noise. He was like, no noise. And because you're exuding from here instead of under. And he couldn't figure out why I couldn't push her out. So the anesthesiologist yells at Charlie and says, take my hand. And they put their elbows up under my ribs and they push her out like a tube of toothpaste. It took 3, because they have you push on the contractions too. 3 contractions for them to finally get her out. And I remember her, coming out and stuff. But I was like, I couldn't push. I had no idea where it was supposed to come from. I didn't understand what was going on. And then with Gray, it was like easy peasy. I was like, oh, because this is where the ambassador comes in. We were hanging out after I had Cece, and I was like, I had such a hard time getting her out. They had to do this thing. And his wife was like, that is illegal. You shouldn't, no one is supposed to push on your ribs. You could have died, And I was like, well, I don't know. And like, what am I supposed to do? And she was like, well, where were you? This is actually outside the theater on the porch. And she was like, well, where were you pushing from? And I was like, well, I was doing like crunches, like trying to get, and she's like, no, you're supposed to poop. You're supposed to like get her out that way. And I was like, well, where were you? Like before, nobody tells you these things that it's supposed to be like, so anyway. So
I really pulled from my Shakespeare breathing.
Oh,
yes.
Shit.
So
you are an artist, Brooke.
Well, no, it's because when we were doing a lot of breath work and vocal training when I was in school, they were always saying, breathe from your tailbone. Like breathe, you have to breathe, you have to center your focus of where it's coming from here, because when you do like a long Shakespeare monologue,
it can't come from,
it's coming from down deep.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when I was doing that, I was going from here. Because I pushed with my first for like an hour.
Yeah.
And he didn't really come out until the last 10 minutes. So for 45 minutes you're sitting there push,